Hey y'all, welcome me back to my channel. I meant to welcome you to my channel, but I've been gone for a minute too, so hey, yeah, welcome me back to my channel, and you welcome. Today we're going to be talking about dominating self-awareness. If that's something that you're struggling with, this may be the video for you. We're just going to give you just three quick tips that you can implement today, because I don't like to waste your time. Once you're done watching the video, you should feel a little bit more confident and able to walk away and dominate. Oh, that's my body! All right, so number one is, who exactly are you? Now, the funniest thing to me is that most of the time, no one starts to answer these questions about themselves until you're doing a personality test, if you're doing an interview for something, kicking off one of these questionnaires with BuzzFeed, if you're out here trying to figure out which house you belong to. I don't know. If you're a Harry Potter fan, you're trying to figure out which house you belong to based off your personality. You know what I'm saying? You know, repping Gryffindor over here. But anyway, that's besides the point. It's a little superficial. It's barely touching the surface of exactly who you are. You need to go to that uncomfortable place, that place where all your questions lie, all your worry lies, all your discomfort lies. Like, you need to go to that place and ask those type of questions of yourself. Sometimes you've been hiding for so long, not even you can figure out who you are. I'm completely guilty of this, of being so protective over myself that I cocooned in exactly what I didn't want people to be able to attach to, or people to even get to know about me. I didn't want people to be able to see and feel my vulnerabilities. But the problem with that is that I had done it for so long, and my skin was so thick, and my box was so huge, and many boxes were just in these little cubby hole places that nobody could get in. And not only could nobody get in, heck, I didn't even know how to get in myself, and it was in me. Things that I suggest and ways that I've been able to open up myself has been by doing journaling. And in that, I'll write down, I used to start off and I'll write down all the things that I knew about myself. You know, I am cool, I am fun, I am calm, I am, really great at my job. And I just kept listing things like I am, until it got to the point where I had no more good to go to. So then it was time for me to actually start thinking about the other things. And what was so crazy is that at first it was giving me that, that shot of dopamine, lifting up my confidence. But then once I started to list the things that were my drawbacks, I started to feel low. But in that, I learned that a lot of things about myself and the reason why I do some of the things that I do. And those things are important. It's very important for you to understand your reactions and why you do things. So that's why that's my number one tip, is to figure out exactly who you are. Number two, so once you figure out who you are, one thing for certain is that you got to figure out, have you been lying to yourself, or are you lying to yourself? What things are you actually lying about to yourself? And I ask this question, and I say this because that's very important, that you understand your true motives and you understand exactly what you're trying to do. For instance, if I sit up here and I tell you that I'm going to sit here and, as a matter of fact, let's go with this, that I was going to sit here and I was going to film a video. But instead of filming a video, I was on my cell phone all day. But I started planning to film a video hours ago. In my mind, I knew that I wasn't going to film the video, but I kept playing and playing with myself, right? Making it so that it was becoming even more harder, and then eventually I started to beat myself up about it, when in reality, I could have just told the truth to begin with to myself. I wasn't talking to anyone, to myself. And that would have alleviated some of the agitation that I might have felt. The reality of it all is that you may even agree with some of the things that we talk about, but if you're not even trying to actively implement it, then you're still not being honest about what you're really dealing with, and quite frankly, being, true to your shit.
Stop it!
Stop it?
Yes, S-T-O-P, new word, I-T.
So, what are you saying?
Like, if you're a person like me that's completely always seeking and searching for something, then the more you become self-aware, it's definitely could be a lot more than you recognize or you realize. Comment below if any of this resonates with you, because I like to know how you're making the change. The third question that you need to ask yourself is, are you investigating the triggers? So when I'm talking about the triggers, I'm talking about when something happens and say your heart races, your blood starts to pump in, blood pressure start going up, things that get like you know, a reaction out of you that's way larger than what it should be. These are the type of things that I'm talking about.
Why didn't you answer me the first time I said it, huh? I'm just asking, I said it like 4 times, so why didn't you say it the first time I said Aaron?
Because it's pronounced Aaron?
Son of a bitch! You done messed up, Aaron!
It's in those extreme reactions where the truth of you lies. At the end of the day, you got to get to the point where you're Sherlock Holmesing around, you know, just trying to investigate what's going on, because literally that is how you're going to get to the core. A lot of times those tend to lead back to something that happened way a long time ago. I mean, it could be in a bad relationship, it could have been a trauma at home, whatever it is, it's probably something that it can be tied to, and you need to ask those questions. And the question is, why? Why am I triggered this way? Why am I having these extreme reactions? What is it about this that caused me to feel this way? It's like you really got to ask those questions. I mean, since there's no automated counselor just sitting here ready to just help you, I mean, if one could just appear like right there in front of you and just be able to help you, then that would be great. But that person is not there. You need to begin the process of writing these things down. You can write about it, definitely talk about it to people that actually care, that are in your circle of influence. Ask the people that are closest to you for an assessment. Ask them about, you know, how they feel that you are in real life or whatever, and make sure that you're open and you want them to be open and honest, because if they're not, then it's not going to do you any good. Just know at some point in time you definitely need to do it, especially if you're having an issue with identifying it in yourself. I promise you the people closest to you will be your greatest ally in this. You are meant to be powerful, confident, dynamic, and strong. You should be able to, at the end of this, just put your own cape on and go out there and save your damn self. It should be just like that, because that's what self-awareness is. In fact, if you got anything out of this and it's added some value to you, please drop it below. And by the way, if you made it to the end, let me get them guns. Let me see them. Let me see them. Let me see them guns. I don't have no guns, but I want some though. I want some. But you got one in your emoji box.